Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you're new. Today's video is going to be on Fedor's 2-month update, so let's get straight into the video. So Fedor is now 3 months old, but I'm going to do the update between him just turning 2 months and going into the 3 months. So that time span. So Fedor, oh my goodness, he has gained so much weight in a good way. He's got little cheeks now and he's just so porky and it's so cute. I could not believe how much baby weight he's actually put on until I compared it to his other photos. He loves his milk, so I'm so happy with his progress. He's growing up so fast and I can't keep up. He's always 2 steps ahead of me. So today I really want to talk about how he is going with his whole sleep training program. So I have tried so many different methods and I was adamant that I was going to use the Baby-Wise sleep training program when I was pregnant because I was researching it and it just sounded right at the time until I tried it out. Now, I didn't feel comfortable with letting my baby cry for an extended period of time. So with the Baby-Wise method of sleep training, I'll get into it if you haven't heard of it before. It's more of an old-fashioned baby sleep training, which its style is very parent-led orientated. So the idea of it is to get your baby to sleep through the night from 7 till 7 by the age of 8 weeks. Now, my dilemma with it, which it kind of took me a while to figure out that it wasn't for me, was it wasn't very detailed, so I had a big problem there and I kept getting stressed out and it just was not working for me. Now, I really like the idea that it is wake up from your sleep, eat a full feed, you play, and then you go back down to sleep. So it's that pattern, just so you don't get a feed-sleep association. So that's one positive thing I've taken out of that sleep training method. Now, I stumbled across the Practically Perfect Baby Sleep Method, which kind of ties in with this one, but it's a lot more detailed. But they did want you to let your baby cry out for a longer period of time. So with the Baby-Wise, I'm pretty sure it was around 10 minutes. And with the Practically Perfect Baby, they swore by science that it was an optimal time of 15 minutes. And then your baby will go to sleep and stop crying and they'll put themselves to sleep. And they claim that if you follow their method religiously, your baby will sleep from 7 till 7 by the age of 8 weeks. So I tried this out for about 2 weeks and it was not for me. This was probably the worst sleep training method. Like, my milk supply actually dropped. I was so worried. So I started to feed on demand and that brought my milk supply back up. So then we just fell into the habit of Fedor sleeping when he wants, waking when he wants, feeding when he wants, and that was so hard as well because I had no structure to my day, and I'm not a 100% schedule person, but I need a little bit of routine, a little bit of structure, because it started to feel like the days were kind of merging into one. And then we had his sleep regressions in between, and at the time I didn't understand what they were until I came across the Little One Sleep program, which is so science-based. It really, really is detailed. Now, I actually paid for this program, but I highly recommend it. It just really talks about when babies are undertired, they'll fight sleep, which was my problem. I wasn't keeping Fedor up enough, and I was wondering why he wouldn't go to sleep on the 3-hour schedule with the Baby Wise routine and the Practically Perfect Babies, and he was fighting that. And then it talks about when they're overtired, the stress hormone cortisol releases, and they are wide awake and they can't settle down, and they need you to help them settle down. You can't just like allow your baby to cry it out because they're so worked up. You need a more hands-on approach. It also follows the same regime of eat, play, sleep. Before I started this program, Theodore was going to bed at like 10 p.m. and I could not get him to sleep earlier. And this was draining me because he would wake up at like 5 a.m. and I just like would not get any sleep. So then we started the little one sleep program and he was in bed by 7 p.m. He still wakes up 6 to 7, sometimes earlier, sometimes later if we're lucky. So he started doing 7 to 7 when he was 8 weeks old. Now, they say that at 8 weeks they do have a sleep regression, which it kind of dips. So we did have a little bit of trouble, but we are back on track. I'll probably make another video with the little one's sleep program. But so far, it has definitely saved my sanity. So let's talk about milestones. Theodore has rolled over a few times, but he's a little bit lazy when it comes to tummy time. I'm such a softie. I put him on his tummy and he just cries, and I can only last a minute, and I know he needs to strengthen his core and his neck. Like, he's got a strong neck, but he's just not a tummy baby. We're a bit slow on the whole rolling over agenda, but he has done it a handful of times. He has started smiling consistently and almost laughing. It's so funny. It's like it's hilarious. It's kind of like in between like a tickle in his throat. He's continued doing baby yoga, and that's really cute. So our last session was this week, so we did the 6-week course. So in baby yoga, he interacts with the babies. It's so cute. He kind of just stares around and laughs at them, and I've noticed he's a lot more awake and active now and wanting to play with toys and wanting to be stimulated. I also have been showing him the sensory stimulation videos on YouTube, which is all the colours and the music, and he loves Finding Dory. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. So they are all the positive things in Theodore's 2-month update. But let's be realistic and talk about what it's really like having a baby. So 6 to 8 weeks was probably the hardest period. I mean, he was still colicky at the start. I just remember having a lot of stressful nights, and because Isaac's working, I did do a lot of this on my own. And some nights I'd be up with him all night and he would just cry for 8 hours straight. It was really hard. The purple crying period, which is 8 weeks, was definitely one of the most challenging periods. He would just cry hours on end for no reason. I could not settle him. He wanted to be held, though. He didn't want the boob, but he did want the boob, and that was so stressful. I kind of got to the point where I just felt hopeless, and I didn't know what I could do, and I did a bit of research on the purple crying, and it just said to try your best at comforting them, but that was definitely really, really hard. Having a baby is so rewarding. I love being a mum to Theodore, but I really didn't expect it to be this challenging. No one can explain how hard it can be until you're in that position. And there's so many magical moments, and there's so many moments where you just feel so helpless. That's another thing I want to get into. I have really suffered postnatal depression, and I really tried to push it aside and ignore it, but there's been so many moments where it's surfaced up, and my way of dealing with it sometimes just isn't enough, because I do like to take a holistic approach. So I do talk to a psychologist on a regular basis, and I do practice a lot of yoga and mindful strategies, but sometimes it just gets a little bit too much, and it's really hard for me to actually admit this, but I know deep down that it was always there, because I did suffer prenatal depression when I was pregnant. And it's not to say that I don't love Theodore, because I love him with all my heart. I really struggle with the repetition of things, and when things don't go according to plan, I get really stressed out, and I do have a lot of environmental factors that contribute to the way I'm feeling. Thanks guys for listening. Stay tuned for next week's video. Bye.